Welcome back to Ballers Take Flight. On this episode, we will be going over rare moments when Steph Curry got angry during a game. Make sure to stay till the end of the video to find out which games or players triggered Curry. If you're new to this channel or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. MVP Steph Curry is hailed by many for publicly acting out his faith in Christ and for being a faithful family man. Many other players would also say that Curry is very kind and has a wonderful personality. No one would think of Warriors point guard Steph Curry as the kind of guy to burst into anger on the basketball court. It's rare and weird to see him mad. It's not something people see every day. Maybe it's because he's not oversized, or maybe he still has a baby face, but zero NBA fans would pull his name immediately as that kind of character. He may look like he doesn't get mad, but when he does, you all better be ready. Steph Curry getting mad just makes him want to score more and win. So let's get to it. Let's start off when the Warriors point guard Steph Curry tosses his mouthpiece in frustration after fouling out against the Cavaliers. The incident took place late in the fourth quarter of Game 6 in the NBA Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Golden State Warriors. Well, as locked in as the 32-year-old usually is, Curry does have a brief history of losing his chill on the hardwood, and sometimes it involves him throwing his signature mouth guard. The very first time Curry let it rip came during one of the darkest moments of his basketball career, as the 2016 NBA Finals began to slip away. The Warriors blew a 3-1 lead to LeBron James and the Cavaliers in the 2016 NBA Finals, and Curry picked up his first career ejection amid that Golden State meltdown. Before Cleveland shocked the world on the road in Game 7, Curry fouled the Golden State Warriors' 115-101 loss in the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Curry was fined for throwing his mouthpiece into the crowd, for which he was automatically ejected, with 4:22 left in the fourth quarter, Thursday night, after being called for his disqualifying sixth foul. The mouthpiece hit the son of one of the Cavs' minority owners, who was sitting in the front row and later received an apology from Curry. Curry was angry about several fouls that were called against him throughout the game, as was Kerr, who was fined for his remarks about the officiating. Quote, he steals the ball from Kyrie Irving, clean at one point. LeBron James flops on the last one. Referee Jason Phillips falls for a flop. As the MVP of the league, we're talking about these touch fouls in the NBA final. Let me be clear, we did not lose because of the officiating. They totally outplayed us, and Cleveland deserved to win. But those 3 of the 6 fouls were incredibly inappropriate calls for anybody, much less the MVP of the league. Steph tried to pull the same shenanigans a little more than a year later, with KD and an extra title in tow, and it could not have been more similar to the first incident. With the Warriors trailing late in the game against the Grizzlies, Curry let his mouthpiece loose as he pleaded with the ref, and he paid the consequences. Curry wanted the and one, got in the ref's face, and let his mouthpiece go in the man's direction. Yet again, Steph was ejected in the closing minutes of a loss. Maybe if Curry had kept his cool, he'd have gone on an epic three-point shooting spree to bring Golden State back into the game. But instead, he had to be that guy. Steph Curry also punched a wall in anger after Warriors' NBA Finals loss to Raptors. A frustrating NBA Finals came to a disappointing end for the Golden State Warriors after a 114-110 Game 6 loss to the Toronto Raptors. The series featured more devastating long-term effects and significant injuries. The next day, Mark Spears of the Undefeated revealed on First Take that Warriors point guard Steph Curry's frustrations boiled over for the fallen teammate's help when he punched a wall after the game. Spears noted that Curry felt guilty. Thompson suffered his torn ACL late in the third quarter of Game 6. Durant left Game 5 just after 12 minutes with his Achilles injury. Golden State had no luck with injuries all season. Of note, center DeMarcus Cousins returned in January from a ruptured Achilles suffered the year prior, but he missed 14 playoff games with a quad injury. Raymond Green missed 13 regular season games with a sprained right toe, and Steph Curry sat 11 contests out with a groin injury. In the playoffs, Durant missed 9 games with a right calf strain before suffering the Achilles injury 12 minutes upon his return. Thompson also missed Game 3 with a hamstring injury suffered in Game 2. Therefore, Curry's frustration and hurt for his teammates is certainly understandable, especially considering the bonds formed as the team has gone through its championship run. Thankfully, there are no reports of Curry suffering a hand injury after punching the wall post-loss. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has their limit, and when they hit that limit, they burst and get angry. Just like when Steph Curry and LeBron have at it. But not always physically. So remember all that talk about Curry's small frame? It has absolutely nothing to do with his heart. The Warriors and Cleveland Cavaliers met in the NBA Finals in 4 consecutive seasons, with the Dubs getting the best of the Cavs in 3 of those 4 matchups. Each series pitted Steph Curry and later Kevin Durant against LeBron James in a thrilling clash of styles. Curry with his flair and tendency to launch from the perimeter, LeBron with his undeniable strength and sheer force of will. Indeed, Curry even went at James numerous times. LeBron made Curry a meme after swatting his shot in the Game 6 of the 2016 Finals. But Steph just kept on coming. He looked LeBron up for layups in Game 2 of the 2017 Finals, a spectacular play in an otherwise boring series. Just 1 year later, Curry and LeBron were barking at during the size difference that is nearly as savage as it gets. But it's not just LeBron. Steph Curry has put Jaylen Brown in his place. Boston Celtics swingman Jaylen Brown has evolved into one of the NBA's brightest young stars. But during the 2016-2017 season, Brown was just a rookie trying to uphold his reputation as a dogged defender. The Warriors and Celtics squared off in March of 2017 in a battle of 2 of the better teams in their respective conferences. This was a hotly contested battle in which the Celtics sought to use their overwhelming team defense to keep a high-powered Warriors offensive at bay. At the end of the third quarter, Brown switched onto Steph Curry. Steph, who at this point had established himself as having one of the best handles in the game, danced free for a three-pointer right as the horn sounded. He buried it in Brown's face. Apparently, the rookie had been doing a lot of chirping throughout the game, because Curry immediately turned and pointed at Brown, making the yapping sign, as he walked back toward the bench. Brown should have known better than to bring out the dog in Curry, who at that time was the reigning MVP and hailed as the best point guard in the game. We all know Curry isn't the only one who loses his cool. This may be because of today's players benefit from state-of-the-art assistance from their teams, including superior training facilities, sports psychologists, sleep experts, yoga instructors, and meditation gurus. But it's in the fourth quarter of overtime, according to ESPN stats and information. His clutch ability and mental resolve were highlighted in a seminal 33-point second-half performance to eliminate the Houston Rockets in Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals after he had gone scoreless in the first half. NBA athletes fail. What makes them elite is they learn and grow from it. Think Magic Johnson dribbling out the clock and missing key free throws in the 1984 finals against the Celtics and being branded Tragic Magic. Then returning the next season to lead the Lakers to the title over Boston, and thwarting the Celtics again in 1987 with a junior hook that has become an enduring symbol of Johnson's greatness. One thing is for sure, don't get Curry mad. When you do, he comes back harder and better. Even so, we all still love him. Am I right? Alright, that is all for this video. What can you say about this video? Any thoughts on this one? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that like button. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Catch us in the next video.